The Buddha actually has three great teachers. The first teacher is impermanence. Second teacher is suffering. The third teacher is non-self. And impermanent, suffering, and non-self is not the impermanence of the sun and the moon. It's not impermanence of the body of others. It's the impermanence, suffering, and non-self within this body and the mind of the Buddha himself. For example, if we have a blackboard here, and this is a classroom, and then the teacher writes something on the blackboard. These three words is there on the blackboard all the time, day and night, all the time. The blackboard is the body and the mind. It's not the body and the mind of others is here. It's not the body and the mind of the Buddha statue. No, it's here. However, most human beings, most of the time, send the mind out to enjoy the world through the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, and body touch. Can't see the teacher on the blackboard. Or meditator enter deep absorption, being happy, enjoy life. In deep absorption, do not see the teacher on the blackboard. Or trying torture the blackboard. Human being doesn't need to torture oneself in order to see suffering. Suffering is there all the time. When you sit too long, suffering already. If you eat too much, drink too much, suffering already. If you don't have water to drink, you don't have food to eat, suffering already. We spend almost whole day to maintain this body because this body is suffer. We have to go to the park, we have to go exercise because this body is suffer. We have to go to the theater to watch the movie because the mind suffer, we want some happiness. The eye complain, watching movie too long. The ears complain in the theater is too loud. But the mind said, I like it, I like it. We practice so that the mind is stable. To have the quality to be aware, knowing and feeling pure, nothing else. Stable, what does it mean, stability? It means good thought come, the mind stable, not following the thought. Bad thought, bad negative thought come, not hating yourself, just observing, oh, now there is a bad thought come, that's all. When we are happy, when we feel good, the mind tends to float in the air. For example, you go to a big temple, have a big function, everybody happy. After the function, everybody talk a lot. The mind float. Float, talking, chatting. In country, if there is problem, we complain a lot, talk, complaining, shouting, complaining. Nowadays, sometimes not using mouth, not using our mouth, using the finger. So this is the two extremes. When the mind floats a lot and we come to meditation, because of the habit of letting the mind float, then the mind won't come down easily when you go to meditation. The mind still floats in your meditation. That is why we have to force ourselves to know in order to gain something out of the retreat. Now I show you the real practice. This is the real practice. Liu Ju said, for ordinary man is a Buddha, refinement is bodhi. He talked about moment by moment. When I ask you to stand and moving, and I also ask you to observe your thought, the moment our mind loses into thinking, cannot feel the body, that moment is the moment of delusion. Enlighten the moment after that we know, oh, the mind deluded into thinking something, doing something, come back to feel the body and mind again and again and again. When we stay at home, nothing to do, sit. The mind run, delusion, run here and there, not knowing the body, not knowing the mind. When we turn on television, the mind not here, cannot feel the body, the mind just run there. Oh, oh, oh. It doesn't mean I ask you to force yourself, forcing control yourself to know yourself all the time. That is also an extreme, a wrong extreme. If you force yourself, try to know and being aware all the time, we will become a robot. I have a man, a meditator, practiced for 22 years in Malaysia. When he asks questions, it's just like a robot. And he cannot smile. He came and studied with me for 3 years. And the 3rd year he said, I understand now. Forget about the practice, I told him. Just feeling your body, feeling your mind. The teacher is there. Impermanent suffering and non-self is always there. So the first thing, we use this body, this mind, to train ourselves to be neutral. The second sentence definement is poti. At the beginning, I did not understand this statement. But we are not the enlightened one. Then what we have is defilement. So we train our mind to be awake from defilement. Defilement is the best fertilizer for the flower. What we train ourselves, the purpose, is not to attain, it's far beyond calmness, far beyond happiness. We train our mind to be stable enough to observe everything until the mind can observe even the last moment of this life. The last mind of this life is the weakest mind. Like we practice today, when you're standing or even you are sitting, the mind sometimes runs here and there. The mind think about this subject, this person, that person. We can't control. This is, now we still have a strong mind. But the moment before we die, the weakest mind can't control. You can't choose object. You can't choose your thought. So if we do not practice until we get used to it, then the last mind will pick object by itself. If that moment we think about positive thing, we go up to heaven. Many meditators, maybe some of you, pass through the crisis between life and death. If we practice meditation, stability of the mind, at the last moment before we die, the mind is an observer. Observing something is dying. It's observing, it's not thinking, observing. The mind is observing until the end. This kind of mind we call the mind that walk on the middle path. This kind of mind, next life, because we get used to practice the middle path, then next life can continue and have more chance to see those who walk on the path. This means when we practice, we don't need to know that much. Being aware, feel, and then knowing, that's all. No need to have much knowledge, but to be feeling that you control yourself too much, you have a strong desire to attain something, we know, oh, we are away from it. The mind run away here and there, thinking about the world, about money, worry about children, worry about father, family, here and there too much. We know and let go, come back. Everything is possible when we practice continuously. 15 minutes a day. And during the daytime, try to feel yourself, seeing the mind run here and there, and see yourself following the mind, the thought or not. We have the habit of sinking, not following. It's worse. Sinking into the thought, sinking into the emotion. This is the worst. So if it sinks, we know, oh, we wake up. Okay. So Buddhahood, enlightenment is not far. It's not that difficult. Doesn't mean you have to enter something, some deep jhana and then can get enlightenment. Try to practice in your daily life, which everybody to be successful in your practice and be happy, relax. Sadhu, sadhu,
善哉善哉，阿弥陀佛。